Hey there, it's Clément Gabriel from Le Quartier Francophone. Today we are going to talk about self-confidence, because if you don't feel confident when speaking a foreign language, it's a real pain. You're afraid to speak up, you doubt yourself, you struggle to talk. Not only can this make you switch back to a language you know better, or even stop talking altogether, but it also ruins the fun and success of communication. That's what we call the language barrier, or to use a fancier term, linguistic insecurity. In this video, I'm going to give you some tips to get out of this situation. But first, we're going to try to better understand the reasons why we might lack confidence. Because when you clearly identified the root of a problem, you've already done half the work to get rid of it. So we're going to start by looking at the psychology side of things. First off, you have to realize that when you learn a foreign language later in life, like as a teen or adult, the conditions are radically different from when you're a kid learning your mother tongue. We're not sponges anymore, absorbing the language people regularly speak around us. From a certain age, learning a new language is a conscious and voluntary process, and to succeed, you'll need to constantly make efforts and stay motivated. And when it comes to learning our native language, we don't really think about it much. But with a foreign language, things get a bit trickier, and we've got to deal with some extra stress. Yes, becoming full-fledged members of society has made us super sensitive to outside judgments and the impressions we leave behind. So we put pressure on ourselves to give the best possible image, wanting to prove to others that we're quick learners or exceptionally skilled at handling foreign languages. So what happens? We're scared of saying stupid things and looking ridiculous. We hesitate, we're afraid of not using the right words, making grammar mistakes, mispronouncing certain sounds, and so on. But these psychological tensions don't explain everything. Indeed, let's ask ourselves this question. If our language skills were sufficient to communicate well, would we really feel a lack of self-confidence? To answer that, let's now turn to foreign language learning methods, because they have their share of responsibility in the appearance of the problem. Indeed, since school, we've been taught languages as if they were history or physics. That is, as if they were subjects to study rather than a communication tool. And what's offered later to the general public is cut from the same cloth. Whether it's classes with a teacher or resources to work on your own, you invariably end up with the same program. A sum of theoretical informations and activities for practice, like fill-in-the-blank exercises, pre-prepared dialogues, role plays, and whatnot. Of course, learning things about the language isn't bad in itself, but the exercises to practice pronunciation, grammar, or vocabulary aren't effective. They don't really help you to be able to use all this knowledge simultaneously in a real conversation. The major problem with artificial activities, besides not being motivating at all, is that they don't put you in the right practice conditions. That is, those that actually look like a real conversation. What do you think? When you want to learn to swim, what's the most effective? Listening to explanations and repeating movements at the edge of the pool? Or working on movements directly in the water with the help of a competent swimming instructor? Well, it's kind of the same thing for languages. Because to come back to our lack of self-confidence, here's what happens most often when we follow methods that aren't really effective. We take too long to react, words don't come to mind, we don't finish our sentences, we stammer, we ask for repetition, we create misunderstandings. In short, everything needed to lose self-confidence. And that's why conversations with native speakers often feel like a brutal return to reality. I've got proof in the impressive number of people who contact us saying that they are A2, B1 or B2 level and who really struggle to hold a simple conversation. It's a shame, because the frustration they feel afterwards is very demotivating, without it really being their fault in the end. Of course, As they say, Rome wasn't built in a day, and communicating well in a foreign language doesn't happen overnight, no matter what methods you use. So to sum up, the lack of self-confidence comes from two things. The psychological pressure we put on ourselves to make a good impression when speaking a foreign language, the difficulty in being able to use what we learn in a real exchange. So how do we overcome all this? Here are a few little tips. 1. Put things in perspective. Even if communication isn't perfect, it rarely has dramatic consequences. 2. Think positive. Every perceived mistake is an opportunity to improve. 3. Choose your learning methods wisely. Go for one that focuses on real communication and gives you helpful feedback on your performance. 4. Avoid lecture-style grammar classes. Their practical benefit is very low. 5. Find people to talk with. Nothing beats a real conversation for acquiring vocabulary and expressions in context. 6. Practice again and again. The more you practice, the more natural the language becomes. 7. Give yourself regular reality checks. Chat with native speakers to get a true picture of your skills and avoid any false ideas about your abilities. 8. Finally, be patient and enjoy each step rather than staying fixated on the end goal. That's it for this time. I hope this video will be useful to you. Think hard about all this, and if you have any other questions, send us a message. With that, good luck with your learning, and see you next time.